The defining traits of a wife and what makes someone a good wife. A wife will always have a number of defining traits that make her different from others. She is someone who is selfless, who will put the needs of others before her own, and who will always be there for the people she loves. A good wife is someone who has a strong sense of morality and integrity and is a person whom others would be happy to call their own. A good wife is someone who will keep the family happy and healthy, raise their children to be well-behaved and respectful. She would also make sure that they have every opportunity to succeed in life. A good wife would not be jealous of a husband's success or compete for his affection. She would be supportive of her husband at all times during his life and help him any way she could to be a good husband to his wife and family. A good wife is someone who motivates her husband to do better in his career and provide for his family. A good wife is also someone that her husband can come to when he is sick, sad, or upset. A good wife will protect her husband, cherish him and his family, and provide for them. A good wife is someone who would never break a promise to her husband or be unfaithful to him in any way. She will make sure that she doesn't hurt her husband either physically or emotionally. A good wife would not cheat on her husband, steal from him, or lie to him about anything. A good wife would love everything about her marriage, including the negatives as well as the positives. It would be her number one priority to make sure that she and her husband are happy in their marriage. A good wife is someone who loves her husband more than anything in this world, as well as the life they have built together with mutual respect for each other. Her husband is made to feel special and loved in his wife's arms. What makes a wife different than other women? Marriage is what makes them different from other women. It is wrong to have sex with other women if someone else has married them. It is also not wrong if someone else has married them and they are still single. Someone could get married to their cousin. Not all women are allowed to go to church with a man because that would be inappropriate. With the exception of an older woman who is widowed or single, a woman cannot marry anyone else. Age makes a woman different than other women. A woman who is between 30 and 40 years old is considered an older woman. This means that they are allowed to marry anyone but can still not go to church with an unmarried man. If she was 16, married, and then widowed at 60, they would not be allowed to go to church. Because she was single when she got married and therefore not an older woman. Married men are also not allowed to go to church with unmarried women. If a man cannot marry anyone else unless they have been married before, a widowed or single woman can be their dowry. And therefore not allowed into church with an unmarried woman. A widow is allowed to go anywhere she wants in the church except for the marriage aisle. If she was married before, a widow is allowed to go down the marriage aisle. In Asia, it is not necessary for a woman to be married in order to be considered an adult. Because of this factor, it is also not necessary for her husband to die in order to consider her an adult. Rather, the husband must die and then she can remarry again when she wants. In some cultures, it is more socially acceptable for men than women without a partner or husband to remarry. In addition, in some cultures, it is acceptable for a woman to be an adult if she has been married and been relieved of the responsibility of child rearing without being widowed. In some cultures, the age of consent is greater for women than for men. There are many more culturally constructed notions of adulthood than there are biologically essential notions. In many cultures, girls are expected to marry and have children. In other cultures, the decision of whether or not to marry is left up to the individual. Many societies allow people of any age to consent for themselves in sexual relationships. Types of wives and how to be a good one. In the world of relationships, there are many different types of spouses. Some people think that it is in a woman's nature to be a good wife. However, this is not true for all women. There are many different types of wives, and it is up to the individual woman to determine which type she wants to be. There are three main types of wives. 1. The mother-in-law wife. The mother-in-law wife is a type of wife who always puts her husband's parents first. She tries to make them happy and treat them like they are her own parents, genuinely caring for them. This type of wife will also make the husband's parents love her very much and be grateful for the relationship, and even going out of the way to take care of them while they are away at work. Even if the husband's parents are gone for a week, she will make sure to contact them every day. She will make plans and do activities with the in-laws. 2. The good girl wife. The good girl wife takes care of her husband and makes sure that he is satisfied with what she does for him. The good girl wife is a person who takes care of her husband in order to make him happy. The good girl wife is the one who pleases her husband in order to make him feel good. Good girl wife, a woman who is faithful and loyal to her husband and takes care of him. A good girl wife is someone who supports her husband and is best for their family. A good girl wife looks out for the well-being of her family. She takes care of their financial needs and gives him the attention that he deserves. A good girl wife listens to her husband and does what he says. She is able to spend time with him when he's down and figure out how to cheer him up. A Christian wife should be a good wife. A good wife is one who patiently endures her husband, who loves and esteems him, and honors him. 3. The devilish wife. The devilish wife tries to make her husband question what he wants from his relationship with her. This type of wife is very disrespectful to him and will generally make the marriage tense if he does not come around. This type of wife is still very insecure in herself and needs a man to validate her self-worth. If the husband does not do that, this type of wife will feel worthless. The devilish wife is a very selfish woman in the beginning of the relationship. She only cares about getting what she wants and really cares about not getting hurt. This kind of wife usually has to go through some hard times with their partner before they can become more mature individuals who are willing to work through things together. The devilish wife is very difficult and critical of their husbands. She is also very jealous and will not hesitate to turn a situation around her husband's head if they don't do what she wants. Thank you for watching part 1 of What Makes a Wife, a Wife? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please.